So I will be very grateful if Ajahn can add something on saññā so that we can pass it on to the meeting on Monday.
Is there saññā now?
Of course, every chitta.
It means that even whatever is there is not known as it is. A reality has its own characteristic, different one from one another. For example, now there is seeing. The moment of seeing, it sees, but at that very moment, there must be a reality arising with seeing. It marks and remembers the object which is seen. Right now, no matter what is seen, there is the idea of something or someone. Without saññā, can it appear as something? Not at all. Only that which is seen is the object, one at a time, one moment, in second moments at a time. So this moment, there is saññā. That's why it's not told that there is a reality which now remembers and marks what is there as something which is known, as flower or window or whatever it is. And that is a reality is so real, but it does not show up because the characteristic of the reality which arises and experience an object in different manners, in different characteristics, according to its nature, is one as saññā, which now marks and remembers. That's why learn to understand reality as that which experiences, because in a day, as soon as one wakes up, all day is something, I and people and things and story and so on. That is moment of experiencing an object from moment to moment, so very rapidly that the arising and falling away does not show up as it is at all, because the rapidity of the succession instantly it appears as something. That's why we begin to understand what is the absolute truth and what is the nimitta, the shape and form conditioned by the succession of the arising and falling away of one characteristic of a reality and the other one at a time, very, very quickly, like now. So just understand, not just want to know it or want to experience it or want to let go of it, but to understand the truth. This is the beginning of understanding what is there as it is. Even there is remember or saññā, when it's not told that it's there, no idea about it, that even right now, no one there, only saññā marks and remembers that which is seen, that which is heard, that which is touched, that's all, little by little, to understand what is there in a moment, one characteristic appearing at a time. And saññā marks and remembers all the time of whatever is there as the object. Otherwise, there cannot be anything to be known as it is different from other. If saññā doesn't marks and remembers, how can it be known as it's not just a moment ago?
John, let me just interrupt for half a moment. I just want to mention to a couple of friends who are new here. One is Jen, very glad to see you, Jennifer, that we're talking about saññā, which is a Pali term for a reality, memory. And we're talking about how there is memory at every moment in life. It arises with the experiencing of a reality. So even when we think there's no memory, actually there's memory, saññā in Pali, marking and remembering what is experienced from moment to moment and conditioning the thinking about this or that object. This is Jen's first time joining us, Ajahn, and she's having a lot of difficulties at the moment, floods and COVID and death in the family and sickness, many different problems. So we often talk about how the real problems in life is the thinking at this moment, the thinking with clinging, the thinking with ignorance, and the memory at each moment, thinking about the stories of this and that situation and forgetting about the understanding now. And I'm also very glad to see Cindy here after such a long time, Cindy. Really great to see you. You'll remember Cindy from Taiwan, Ajahn. Okay, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just wanted to make sure that everyone understood what saññā is, because they're not familiar with the Pali terms.
So is there saññā now while listening to what you said?
At each moment now,
In order
it's
to
saññā,
understand what is there,
remembering.
it cannot be known at all, because it is always I all the time, no matter what. I get angry, I like, I dislike, I see, I hear. But what are the reality of that as it is? Each one is different. Learning just to understand what is there now and what is there in life and what we take it for permanent thing. Is it really permanent enough to be known as something? Just begin to consider what is the absolute truth of this very moment. Can anyone know by just thinking of this and that as situation, or hearing some different word which hasn't heard before and understand what it means? For example, this moment, see, what about that? We can share and we can consider what is there in one's own accumulation of thinking about this and that as moment. But what is there? A moment. See, what does it mean? It seems like everyone knows about everything, no matter what we're talking about, this moment or previous moment or yesterday. But in truth, what is the absolute truth in a moment? Is there a moment? So what is a moment? Just to begin to think over what is heard, to understand it, whether it's true or not. That's all. Just to understand what is true in life. Is it the absolute truth? Can it be changed? What is it? What is right and what is wrong? For example, seeing is not hearing. See why we talk about this? Because in a day, there must be a moment of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and then thinking of all about that which is experienced from moment to moment as something all the time. But in truth, where is it? Just a moment ago. Is it still there this moment? Impossible. Different moments, different reality, and no understanding of what is there. Just think about the marks, the nimitta, the sign of that which appears as something. But if we think about just one reality at a time, for example, a rose, what is it? It is seen, and what is seen, if it's just only that which impinges on the eye base and is seen, it cannot be a rose because it is a moment of experiencing an object. Is there no saññā now of what is heard? Memory, marking, the different sound has different meaning. Just now, even we talk about the truth of what is there, but it does not appear to be the object of understanding as it is yet. For example, seeing, there's seeing. Who doesn't know that there is seeing? But what is seeing in truth? What is that? Can it be smell? Can it be taste? Not at all. So what is it? Which sees? Which sees? So what is seeing? It sees. And when we use the term it sees It experiences just that which can be seen only. It cannot see what's in the back because it doesn't impinge on the eye base. So they cannot be seeing of that which is at the back. So what is now is seeing. Can anyone arrange it to arise to experience such and such object? Can the seeing know the sound, experience the sound? And as long as there is the understanding of each word, the meaning of it, that is saññā, which marks and remembers the different tones. Otherwise, they cannot be understanding what is said. For example, a rose, see, is not a cat. There must be saññā, marks and remembers different sound. And it is known as different thing by saññā, marks and remembers it. So at the moment of experiencing something, saññā is there. It's not that which is the chief of experiencing the object, but it arises with that which is the chief of experiencing the characteristic of that object, only that, the chief of experiencing. But the saññā, another reality, does not experience as a chief, but it arises and has the same object by conditions, because saññā also experience an object, but it is not as life or anger or anything. It's only a reality which marks and remembers what is there now. And this is the beginning to understand what is really there in a moment, whether it's true or not. And who knows that as soon as it has arisen, it's gone instantly, succeeded by the next one, instantly. That's why the arising and falling away of the previous one is not known. And it cannot be known because the moment of experiencing cannot understand anything. It just experiences the object. And once it arises, it's gone, never to return at all. So how can it be the understanding of only one? That's why there is the understanding of what is seen now. Is the composition or combination of different reality which can be seen only arising with other reality which cannot be seen. For example, hardness now is there. Hardness cannot be seen, but that which is seen is there, which is hard. But hardness can be experienced through the body sense, and the visible object can be experienced only through the eyeball or the eye or the seeing. And this is a moment. So what is there in a moment? The absolute truth is that no one there at all, but there are different realities conditioned to arise to perform different function according to its nature. As anger is the nature of that reality, which arises to get angry, and hatred and so on, like this, everyday life, every moment in life, from moment of birth to death, is moment of experiencing an object with that which marks and remembers, which the Pali term is saññā. No one there at all, because as soon as it has arisen, it's gone instantly, never to return. Is that not true? Just to learn to understand the truth, and right understanding develop. When it understands better and better, it can understand what is the use of that which is conditioned to arise and experience and then gone, never to return, no matter it's pleasant or unpleasant. Never arise again. And
Sujin,
Could I ask? I was just taking a sip of tea. Good morning, everyone. Is the taste of tea is also remembered by saññā, isn't it?
Saññā is a reality arising with citta each moment. So, moment of seeing, the reality which experience that which is seen is one reality, and that which arise and marks and remember is another reality arising together. Whenever there is a reality which experiences an object, there must be the other reality arising together as factors or conditions for the arising of seeing, and the seeing is a fact or condition for the arising of saññā. They arise together, sahachata. By its nature, it cannot arise alone because each one interact or condition each other, arising together, far away together. That is the way it is. So can there be the idea that I can change, I would like to change, I can do this or that? Impossible. Because that is not the understanding of the truth. So there is the idea of I, who can do. But in truth, is the I, seeing is seeing, is conditioned to see, arising and falling away. So where's the I? If we take seeing for I, it's gone every moment. And when it's so true, can it be directly experienced in order to have firm confidence of the truth? It's not just the word. The word is about the truth of this very moment. When it's true, it can be known that seeing is not saññā, it's not lopa, attachment, it's not dosa, it's not moha. Each one has its own characteristic by its nature, arising and falling away by conditions. How many mental factors arising with this citta, the moment of experiencing an object, and how many mental factors arising with different ones, not seeing, liking, thinking, is not seeing. And this is life, from life to life, from moment to moment, years and years ago, when no understanding of the truth, it conditions more and more, conditioned to arise and fall away non-stop. Is it wholesome? Is it good? Is it pleasant? Not I, or not anyone, just the nature of that which arises and falls away, like the fire in the wood. By conditions is there. It's not anyone. So no trouble at all when there's no idea of I see, I hear, I like, I am sick, or so on. Just understand the truth, that's all. Otherwise, there is another reality attached to that. Just arise to attach to that which is there. By its nature, nobody can change the nature of that which arises to be attached to like what is there, because not understanding that it's not there anymore to be object of life or distress. It's gone instantly. And this truth can be directly experienced because it's so true. But now it's not the direct understanding of that which appears as moment of seeing, moment of hearing, moment of thinking, different moments. They seem like they are together in a moment. But in truth, it cannot be that like we think at all. Seeing cannot be hearing, cannot be thinking. Each one is different because each one is an absolute and absolute reality. And absolute means that no one can change it all. It's the way it is. Just now, who conditioned seeing to arise while we are talking? It's there by conditions. And sometimes sound can be heard while we are talking, not just about what we are talking, but somewhere, sound somewhere can be heard too. by conditions on the smell or anything, according to conditions. So where can be anyone or anything? Because just hardness arises. It cannot be a shoe or a window or my legs or my arms or my eye or anything at all. Just arise and falls away instantly. That's why it's so very subtle, very deep to understand it. Even it's so close, it's there now. Nothing is closer as this moment at all. It's there, so close, but so far from understanding the truth. Because no time to think about it if there's no hearing about the truth, about saññā, about seeing, about hearing, about whatever is there in life from moment that one wakes up to the moment when one falls asleep, and from birth to death. Is this not true? No one